In today's video, I will show you how to use Mint.com to automate and track your budget. And if you have not heard of Mint.com before, it is a website that allows you to track things such as your income, expenses, credit card bills, and other financial related things. And the main goal of this video is to show you how to set up your Mint account so that we can automate the entire budget tracking process, as well as showing you what metrics to view as you're tracking your budget. So to begin, go ahead and create a Mint account. And as part of the setup process, it will ask you to add financial accounts, and I would recommend at least adding your bank account so that Mint can track your income and expenses. But if you would like, you can add other financial accounts as well, such as loans, investments, or properties, so that you can get a more accurate understanding of your financial picture. But once you complete this entire process, you should now be on a page very similar to this, and you should be on the overview tab. And now that you've set up your Mint account, I will talk in detail about the most important features in order to track and automate your Mint budget. And the first feature that we will be discussing is this overview page. And just like it sounds, it will basically give you an overview of your entire financial picture. So it will show things such as all of the cash that you have with all of your financial accounts that are connected with Mint, as well as your credit card bills and additional information about your loans, investments, and properties if you decide to connect those. However, I personally believe the most important metric to view on this page is your net worth value. And your net worth value is just calculated by getting your assets and subtracting your debts. And an example of assets would be things such as the cash in your checking account, an investment, or even like a rental property. Whereas examples of debts would be things such as a car payment or student loan payment. And the general advice is that you should always be striving to increase your net worth by increasing your assets while decreasing your debts. And that is a quick summary of the overview page. And the next important feature that we'll be discussing is the transaction feature located in the transaction tab. So go ahead and just click on it. So once you're on this page, you will see all of your credit card transactions that you've connected with your Mint account. And this page will allow you to easily view all of the transactions you've had with your credit cards. And this is just really useful so you know exactly like what you've purchased with your credit cards like recently. And one of the really nice features of Mint is that it auto categorizes your transactions based on where you purchased them. So as you can see here, if we go down to this one specific item, I bought something at the grocery store and it automatically categorized it under groceries. And this is a really important feature as this will automate the entire budget tracking process as we don't have to individually categorize each transaction. However, Mint does not auto categorize every single transaction like 100% accurately. So I would say about once a week, I would check on your transactions and just make sure they're categorized in the exact category that you want. And just as a quick example on how to change a category, you can just click on the category button and then open up the menu, and let's say we want to change this to like restaurant instead, we would just look for the restaurant category and click on it. And now you can see it's changed to the restaurant category. And those are all the important things that you need to know about the transaction feature. So just to quickly summarize, the transaction feature allows you to see all of your credit card transactions as well as auto categorizing each transaction. And the next feature we'll be discussing is the budgets feature. And so we can just go to the budget feature by clicking on the budgets page. And the budget feature allows us to create budgets for the month so that we can visually see how much we've been spending in specific categories. And as you can see here, Mint already created some budgets for us. For example, you can see that they created a restaurant budget for us and that we've allocated like $400 to spend toward restaurants for the month. And it looks like we already spent like $109. And Mint gets this $109 from our transactions that I mentioned previously. So for all transactions that are labeled as restaurants, it will count it toward this budget. And it would do this for all of your transactions, which allows us to easily see where we've been spending our money. And as you can probably tell, when it's red, that means we're over budget, and when it's green, it means we're under budget. And another really useful feature is like this income and spending like calculation over here. And this will basically tell us exactly how much we should have left over every single month if we stay within budget. Right now, I haven't allocated anything toward income, so I'll quickly just do that. So I can just go ahead and click this button and say create a budget. And now I'll just create a budget for income. So I'll go ahead and just go to the income tab and just select income. And right now I'll just put like $1,000 for this example and hit save. And now Mint assumes that we'll be making $1,000 every month, and we'll also only be spending $640 every month, which means every single month we should be saving $360, assuming we do stay in budget. And I believe this is like the most important feature in terms of tracking your budget. And this is why I mentioned earlier that once a week, you should try to do your best to manually categorize anything that's not in the correct category. As if it's not in the right category, then you will not have like an accurate picture of your budget for the month on this specific page. But once all your data is accurate, you can easily just go back to this budget page and visually see how much you spent so far for this month. And the very last feature that I want to discuss is the trends feature. And we can look at this feature by clicking on the trends tab. And the trends feature will allow us to see things such as our spending, our income, and net income over certain periods of time. So for example, if we click on spending over time, this will show us how much we spent each day of this month. We can also be a little more specific and go over like the last 3 months. It'll give us like a nice bar chart to just visually see how much we spent in comparison to other months. But I personally believe the most important metric to look at is the net income. And I think this is the most important because it allows you to easily see how much you like spent as well as how much you've made for either this month or any other of the previous months. And another really nice feature of Mint is that if we select a filter with more than 1 month, such as like the last 12 months, it will give us the average amount of our net income for the past 12 months. Because I don't have my full accurate data, this average is showing as negative $616, but let's just pretend it was like positive 616. What that means is that on average for the past 12 months, I've been able to save $616 every single month. And this information is also really useful if you're trying to save for a really big purchase. Let's say, for example, you're trying to save money for a down payment on a new house and you need to save like $5,000. If you know how much you're saving on average every single month, then you can quickly figure out like how many months it'll take in order for you to save that much money for your down payment. And those are the most important features that you need to know in order to track and automate your budget using Mint.com. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe for more personal finance content.